Hello, Amador County. I'm Tom Slivick. Let's take a look at our headlines. AFPA looks at donating a ladder truck to Jackson. The Amador Water Agency looks to cover the costs of the Amador Transmission Pipeline with the formation of a voluntary CFD. Amador County Unified School District approved a contract for legal services, and new youth development advisor looks to expand programs in 4-H Central Sierra region, including Amador County. In the second half of the news, I'll speak with George Wendt, president of ORS. And let me tell you right now, Highway 49 is currently closed between Amador-Calaveras County line at the top of the McCullummy grade due to an overturned big rig and a modular home having fallen off the road and partially down an embankment, blocking the southbound lane. The incident began around 9:45 a.m. That's Thursday, August 9th, and the estimate clearing time was 12:30. Alternate routes should be taken. A tow truck was called to the scene, reportedly was not able to pull the semi or a modular home, and a new heavy truck was requested sometime before 11:30 a.m. Heavy traffic was reported above the 13 corners of Moke Hill. Stay with us. We'll be back with the news after this break. You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. Everyone, and welcome back. Our Amador Fire Protection Authority Board of Directors in July considered the donation of a ladder truck known as Truck 1 to Jackson with stipulations to keep the truck for 5 years, house it, and keep it fueled and maintained. Jackson Mayor Connie Gonzalez, chair of the AFPA Board of Directors, asked if the truck once given would be shared. Amador Fire Protection District Chief Jim McCart said it was not utilized very often, but the ladder truck can be useful. Gonzalez asked if Ione shares its ladder truck. McCart said any piece of equipment in the county's fire department is shared and used if available at the time of calls. McCart said Truck 1 has had $100,000 in maintenance since it was purchased and has extensive testing and maintenance to keep it operating properly. Amador County Supervisor John Plaz said he's on the ad hoc committee with Supervisor Chairman Louis Boitano in making the effort to donate Truck 1. Plaz said he has learned the history of the ladder truck. It was purchased by AFPD in 1994 at a cost of $187,000. That purchase included $120,000 from Walmart and another $67,000 paid by AFPD. He said AFPD also paid $15,000 to build the Jackson Argonaut Lane Fire Station to house Truck 1 and paid insurance on the truck and kept it maintained. He said the donation would only ask that Jackson get a garage and pay for gas because AFPD can no longer bear all of the costs. Plus said Truck 1 has a $30,000 surplus value, and AFPD would be willing to donate that value to Jackson with the stipulation that if the city sells it within 5 years, the AFPD gets the money. The AFPA board will next meet September 20th, and it tabled some other items until that time so that the individual member agencies and cities could look at all the Measure M data coming in. Among table items was a request by Kirkwood Public Utility District to be included in Measure M distribution funds, firefighting tax funds. Also tabled was a discussion of Proposition 172 fund distribution. The next meeting will also return to the fire department consolidation with a status report. Also tabled out discussion along with audits, Measure M funds previously submitted by each member or AFP. Amador Water Agency Board of Directors passed a resolution of intent Thursday, July 26, to form a new community facilities district to help cover the agency recover costs related to the Amador Transmission Pipeline. CFD will collect advance payments from property owners who plan to connect to the Amador water system, which serves Jackson, Sutter Creek, Ione, Martell, Plymouth, Drytown, and Amador City. AWA General Manager said the CFD is about rate fairness for our current AWS customers. Future customers can pay their fair share today instead of when they connect to the system, relieving a burden of debt on current customers. Mancebo said Wednesday that a recent online publication by the Ratepayer Protection Alliance was incorrect in saying a 45% water rate increase as AWA could soon be a reality because of the agency's intention to have a partial countywide rate consolidation. Mancebo said the article is inaccurate because the ratepayers have a choice. The proposed rates for the upcountry areas include both an option to replace the existing pumps and pipes, which is expensive and would cause high rate increases, or they could approve a much cheaper alternative, the gravity supply line, which has a USDA grant paying about 40% of the total project costs. He said the system-wide water rate structure is being done to streamline the Amador Water Agency's administration and budgeting and to avoid duplication and to ensure that customers are being treated fairly In some cases, a monthly bill may go up a couple of dollars, and in other cases, customers' bills will go down slightly to reflect the lowest possible cost for delivering water. Mancebo said the AWA is also proposing the much cheaper gravity supply line to help upcountry water users avoid paying a 45% rate increase to replace the existing pumps and pipes. But ultimately, it will be up to the voters to decide which rate and method of water delivery they would like. He said the Ratepayer Alliance must also make certain assumptions about the future, such as inflation over a period of years. And the AWA board in late July approved a draft system-wide rate consolidation as AWA gears up to prepare for the GSL project. Consultant Bob Reed broke down consolidated costs per the four water systems with a total annual cost of $7.9 million in 2013, with $5.2 million for operation and maintenance. Debt service payments per system included $1.8 million in AWS, $516,000 in Central Amador, $43,000 in Comanche, and $19,000 for Lamel Heights. Reed said CAWP's total didn't include the GSL project. He said costs would vary as different systems get rate increases for water, but when rates are raised in the future, all would raise the same for all water customers. Reed said an 8% rate increase would be needed to boost overall revenues in 2012-2013 if a CFD is approved in CAWP. He said rates would decrease by about $300 a year for substantial savings, even with the special tax of the CF. Unified School Board District trustees voted 5-0 in its late July meeting to approve a legal services agreement with a legal firm with offices around the state, including Sacramento. District Superintendent Dick Glock said the district and Office of Education solicited law firms to provide legal advice and perform legal services. 8 firms responded with proposals, and 3 were selected for interviews, which were held by the full Board of Trustees over several hours during a special Board of Trustees meeting July 12th. At the end of that meeting, trustees voted to hire the firm Atkinson, Andelson, Law, Rudd, Romo, and on July 25th, Glock introduced Scott Yarnell, a partner with the firm, who signed the contract for legal services on July 13th. Standard hourly rates in the contract included $235 per hour for partners and senior counsel, $220 per hour for senior associates, $210 per hour for associates, and $150 per hour for services provided by paralegals and assistants. Atkinson, Andelson, Loyal, Rudd, Ramono, his website said it has 7 offices in California with 140 attorneys. Its Sacramento office is listed under managing partner Terry Philman. The Los Angeles Business Journal ranked the firm 25th in its annual ranking of the top 100 largest law firms. The National Law Journal was noted as recognizing the firm as one of the 20 mid-sized law firms for including on their 2011 hot list, and the firm said its philosophy is driven by continuing investment in awareness of the broad spectrum of legal issues that affect employees and businesses. Our firm grasps these issues and counsels clients with an orientation toward preventive measures and practical solutions. Amador County has a new youth development advisor for 4-H, along with 2 county local coordinator, as the newly formed Central Sierra Region 4-H begins to take enrollment in the 4-county area, including Amador County. Jo Lynn Miller is a 4-H Youth Development Advisor for the Central Sierra Region 4-H under the University Cooperative Extension, and she advises over the programs and the local coordinators in the 4-member counties of Amador, Calaveras, El Dorado, and Tuolumne. Longtime Amador County 4-H advisor Larry Fossen has now retired, and Miller has taken over the administrative duties of the 4 counties in the Central Sierra Region 4-H. The local coordinator is Jennifer Gorlitz, who took over for Fossen. Miller said Gorlitz has been selected to cover Calaveras and Amador counties as the 4-H coordinator and has been the 4-H lead person in Calaveras for 25 years. Both have been serving their counties for a long time. Miller said for a number of reasons they believe the cross-county coordinator will work in Amador and Calaveras. Gorlitz and Miller started in June, and the 4-H programs opened enrollment July 1st for various programs, and children must be enrolled by October 15th to be eligible for the fair. Miller said a letter to families will be going out, and the fees are $35 for the entire year. Depending on what projects children sign up for, it could cost more. There are 7 community clubs in Amador County, Miller said, and when kids join, they can make decisions by their locations of their clubs and their meeting places, or they can also join a club based on on the day of the month that they meet to better fit their schedules. The 7 community clubs include the Golden Nugget of Plymouth, Fiddletown, Ione, Jackson, Gold Wheels, Shenandoah Valley, Sierra Eagles, and Willow Springs. Age minimum is 5 years old, and children aged 5 to 8 can become a mini member of 4-H. Miller said mini members are limited with some restrictions on projects. For instance, they can't raise steers or swine. She said 4-H has a wide variety of programs, including archery, shooting, sports, citizenship, water bottle rocketry, public speaking and leadership, first aid, foods and nutrition, arts and crafts, and animal raising, including chickens, rabbits, beef, swine, sheep, goats, and dairy goats. Miller said it's not all about raising animals, and people do not have to live in a ranch or have a land. They don't have to raise an animal to be involved in 4-H. She said the newly formed Central Sierra Region 4-H is also recruiting volunteers for youth in the area to help expand the programs. They are looking to identify people in the community who have a passion for something and want to give that to the youth. She said that's not what they're learning, it's how they're learning. And let's take a quick look at our temperature. I believe it's going to be over 100 degrees today. 102 with a low of 68. Winds out of the west-northwest, 5 to 9 miles an hour. Friday, hotter still with 103, and on Saturday, 104. Stay with us. We'll be right back with our interview after this break. You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.